Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome. We're going to talk about buying Dogecoin tonight and what is a limit order, what is a market order, how do limit orders work. For those of you who are watching this on the video after the live stream and just clicking on the video on my channel or in your notifications or recommendations, you missed the live stream. So I am on every night, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. I'm in Boston, United States. So come join if you're free ever, any evening on a 9 o'clock. If I'm not able to live stream, then I will put a note in the community notes that I'll be off. But I have been live streaming now for a couple weeks on every night. So thank you for joining if you are here. We had an up and down day today. Let me drop down in the corner here. Up and down day today. We had Jerome Powell talking about fighting inflation with interest rates. Again, he was in front of Congress, and Senator Warren and others were slinging questions at him. And of course, Warren is like, well, if you keep raising the interest rates, unemployment is going to go up. And if unemployment goes up, there's going to be a lot of workers that are more workers that are out of work. And Jerome Powell is just like, yeah, so that's how it works, right? That's how it works. We got to fight inflation. So raising interest rates, there's going to be an FOMC meeting near the end of March. And we've been talking about 25 basis points versus 50 basis points. And now it seems maybe edging more toward the 50 basis point sign. We'll see next week. There'll be some new CPI data out on inflation. We'll see how that looks. But what it means for the markets is we just continue to kind of go sideways with little dips here and there. And when there are dips, when we're in this bear market, what does that mean? It's a buying opportunity. That's right. We've been talking about building wealth over the long term. And if you want to build wealth, what do? Right? You don't wait until everything's going up to buy. Again, not financial advice, but I'm telling you what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is I'm buying on the dips. And sometimes you can't always be in front of your computer or in front of your phone when the dips happen. And so that's when you would want to take advantage of a limit order. So we will get into that in a little bit. Right now, we're just looking at Dogecoin 7.36 right now. This is right where Dogecoin was here a couple days ago before we had a little rise up just to about 7.6 and then back down. So one could say, if we're looking at the chart here, we could put a horizontal line here at 7.6 right there. And that looks like it's a new short-term resistance line right there. Bounced off it here on Sunday and then bounced off it here a number of times here on Monday. And now here we are trading around 736 now. And so 7.6 looks to be a short-term resistance line. But where is support? Where is support? So we zoom out to the 4-hour chart and we say, right down here, there isn't any short-term support here. We've got a few tails that have come down. This was the big dip we had last Thursday into Friday, and that green circle. What does that mean? That means I bought some Dogecoin. Yes, I bought some Dogecoin right there on that dip, and you know, we've dipped back down to that level there. So that seems to be maybe a short-term support there around 7.3. We dipped down to about 7.25 today, a little bit lower. But we zoom out a little further and we come back all the way back to the beginning of January when we were back trading at this level here, January 6th to January 8th was right there, and we were in the 720s there. So that's looking back a couple months, the last time Dogecoin was down there at a level below where Doge is trading now. Could we see Doge come down to that level? Maybe we could. We look at Bitcoin at 22,190, and it looks like coming down to 21,500 may be the, if there's another dip in Bitcoin, that may be the point where we see support. And that support is from back here on February 13th, before Bitcoin went on a little sort of mini bull run there. Again, this white line was my prediction of Bitcoin coming down. We made that prediction when Bitcoin was trading up here a few weeks ago. Just economic conditions were such that it looked like things were going to go down, and Bitcoin did go down. Not quite exactly as I drew it, but that was my prediction, and it followed that pretty close. Will we see this dip down to 21.5? We might still see Bitcoin dip a little further here. But right now, kind of holding steady here. Been trading sideways right here since last Thursday. So, again, with a little dip today, that's Bitcoin, and then Doge here. Yeah, pretty similar, a little more up and down action on Doge. So what's happening with the latest on Dogecoin? Well, here, this is a little interesting. Brian Armstrong, the Coinbase CEO, was doing a podcast, and the interviewer was talking about his views of cryptocurrency, particularly in terms of what's a security and what's a commodity. And Brian pretty much is saying that most cryptocurrencies are commodities. There are some that are securities, and the ones that he deems are securities aren't traded on Coinbase. So if it's trading on Coinbase, according to Brian, he thinks those are commodities, and was specifically asked about Dogecoin in this podcast. And he said the regulation and the patron safety in all probability ought to occur with the centralized actors, custodian the trade, but not essentially Dogecoin, which might be one other decentralized coin. That's right. He's saying that Dogecoin is a decentralized coin. And I've been saying that all along. It's a proof of work cryptocurrency. There weren't airdrops or pre-sales or any of those things. And there's no reason why Dogecoin should be considered anything else. There are some, like Michael Saylor, who says that Bitcoin is the only one that's commodity and everything else is a security. But Dogecoin shares a lot of the same attributes as Bitcoin. So I think Dogecoin is definitely a commodity, not a security. And Brian Armstrong of Coinbase agrees. We'll get to Coinbase again in a little bit, because that's where I'm going to be showing you limit orders. But just wanted to update that little bit of news. Here's another one. Dogecoin added to verifiable assets on Binance. That's right. Binance has come out, and a number of different cryptos on the Binance platform. They are saying they have now have this proof of reserve system in place to allow verification of user assets, which includes Dogecoin. And of course, Misha Bar on Twitter has been calling for this for a year and a half, almost 2 years now. And Binance is finally saying that there is a verifiable wallet, because the previous wallet that they had said was a proof of assets wallet was for BSC-Doge last summer. And Misha Bar was like, no. BSC Doge is not Dogecoin. That is a Binance smart chain, like a wrapped Doge, not real Dogecoin. But now they're saying there's real Dogecoin. Of course, Misha Bar is now saying, well, let's get an auditor to look at it. Yeah. Anyway, but that's the next step. So Binance, I think, is trying to do good in making sure that they have the assets to back up what people have bought on the platform. One other little bit of news, the SEC was snubbed as Voyager now wins court approval for a sale to Binance.US. That's right, Binance.US is buying parts of Voyager's assets to try and make those that were holding cryptocurrency on Voyager at least somewhat whole. I don't know how that all is going to play out now, but I think this is good for Binance, Binance.us, particularly here in the US. I trade on Binance.us as well. And for those that thought that maybe Binance.us was one that was an exchange that might go under, well, there's no sign of any bankruptcy or anything involved with Binance.us. They seem to be doing everything well. CZ is supporting, Binance worldwide. And this is another good step, I think, for Binance.us. So that's good. That's good news for that. So we're going to be talking about, because we're in this bear market, and this is this time of accumulation, buy more Dogecoin, right? So I buy on the dips. I'm usually somewhat near a computer, like all the time, except when I'm sleeping. But there are many times in the middle of the night, there might be this quick, sudden dip. Sometimes that happens in trading. Sometimes the trading kind of generally goes down, but many times we see these wicks just real quick come down. Usually it's in order to liquidate some a short position or a long position when the wick comes down, is what we see. And we thought that that's what that was last Thursday. Was this big drop in price, was liquidating some long positions that people had bought crypto using leverage. And the market makers can see where leverage is being used, and they can they can liquidate those positions, pushing the price down. So and I was watching this when this happened, so I was more than ready to make my purchase. But what if this happened in the middle of the night and it was a real quick thing and I wasn't ready yet? So I do have some limit orders that are still already set on some coins, but we can set one. We can set one now. So what is a limit order and what does that mean? Now, many of you probably already know what that is, so that's not anything new here, but we'll go through it. Here's our old Reddit thread here on r-Dogecoin. What does it mean to limit order when buying Doge? And there's some funny answers here, but essentially it means you won't actually purchase those coins till it hits that price, or your price, the price that you want. Let's say Doge is $2. I like this example already, $2 Dogecoin, right? But you set a limit buy for $1.99. Your order will only fill if the price drops down to $1.99. So you can also set limit sells, up when Doge is going up. When we're in the bull market and Doge is going up, you might want to set a limit order of when you're going to sell your Dogecoin. So you can do that as well. But right now we're sitting in the bear market. Nobody's selling Dogecoin now. So we'll be doing a limit buy order. You choose what price you want to buy it at. But just because you choose the price, that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get the price. And this is the little caveat about using limit orders, is because if you use a market order, you're just going to buy it at the market price, whatever it is. But if you use a limit order and you set your limit order low, you might not ever get that price, right? Like Musty still, I think he still has a 4.5 cent Dogecoin limit order sitting there. And 4.5 cents, I don't think Dogecoin's going to get down to that level again. It's just my hunch, but that's what he had. And so you don't know. You don't know about when you use limit orders that it's actually going to hit that price. But some people are convinced that of a certain price that they want to buy at. And so that would be a limit order. So here is Binance.us, and this is the trading platform for Binance.us. This is one that I use to buy a lot of cryptocurrency. I bought a lot of Dogecoin on Binance.us, but the Dogecoin that I have bought on Binance.us is no longer on Binance.us. So my ledger, I've moved it over to my hard wallet, and I have that. Previously, I had moved Dogecoin to Exodus, and I had it in Exodus. I had some in Trust that got lost, stolen, whatever. Don't use that anymore. Don't use soft wallets. Use hard wallets now. Well, Exodus I sort of treat as a hard wallet, even though it's an application that's on my computer. it just sits there. I don't use an app for a wallet at all on my phone. Got no access to that on my phone. I just use Exodus on the computer. And so I've got a good chunk of Doge there and a good chunk of Doge on my Ledger. So Ledger, I do have a link in the description below if you want to check out Ledger hardware wallets. This is the Nano S, which is the least expensive one. And it's the one that I recommend because it doesn't have Bluetooth. You're not going to keep this on and connected all the time. You plug it in, you do your business, you get your coins moved, and then unplug it. Keep your Dogecoin safe. So, highly recommend that. So, with this exchange, what you have here is you've got the current price of Dogecoin, and this is set to 15 minutes. You can set it to 5 minutes. You zoom in right here on the 5-minute trading. We're at 7.38 cents. And you can see right here what the bid and the asks are. So we can see that there is an ask of 7.38 and there's a bid of 7.37. So that's a really narrow spread there, which is great. And that's why I like to try it on to trade on Binance.us as opposed to Crypto.com, which has a really wide spread. This is really narrow. It gets right down there. And it also lists all the most recent sales are right here. So the last sale on Binance.us was 675 Doge at 7.38. Before that, someone bought 5,000 Doge at 738. Someone got 9,000 at 737, et cetera, et cetera. So that all shows up right here. So that's pretty cool. But I'm going to go to Coinbase and do this one on Coinbase. So here's Coinbase Live right here. This is their advanced trading. So this is now free. Their advanced trading used to be something that you had to pay extra for, but you don't pay extra for it now. Advanced trading just comes on the Coinbase platform. Again, I do not buy cryptocurrency on my phone, except it's Robinhood or Webull. Robinhood and Webull are the only ones that I buy on my phone. Because those are primarily phone apps, and I still do buy on my phone for those apps because I use multiple different exchanges for my purchases. So here is Coinbase. Let me refresh this page here because Coinbase isn't, when you're not on it, it kind of lags a little bit. But we'll come back and we'll get it loaded up here. So here is here's Coinbase 7.37 right now. They also have a very tight window here. They actually have an extra digit here, so 7370 to 7373. So you could buy a market price right now of 7372 is where you would buy, and you would come over here and you would choose buy. And you'd say, this is my market price. And I want to just buy at a market price. And then how many Doge you want to buy and click. And you're done. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do limit. Okay. We're going to set a limit order here. And let's see. How much do we want to buy it for? And I'll set a limit order for 725. Okay. 725 is going to be my limit order, I'm going to say, because I think Doge is going to come back down and it's going to do another little dip right here, just like it did during that Jerome Powell talk this morning. People were getting a little freaked out. Doge dipped down. I missed that dip. So if there's another dip that goes down to that level, that's the price I'm going to be. It's that 7.25. Now, how many Doge? Well, this is based on how much I have that you can do percentage-wise, and you can just slide this over, or you can just type in how many Dogecoin you want to buy. So if I wanted to buy 5,000 Doge, I can just say 5,000 Doge. That'll cost me $363 at the current, or at that price, right? At 725, that would be $363 that I would spend. And then Coinbase does have a fee. They take 90 cents. So there's a 90-cent fee there. So if I do that, and I can go ahead and do that safely, it's no big deal if I say buy Doge. and it says success. The limit order is set, and then we come over here, and these are my orders. I'm in front of part of it there. Let me just remove myself and get out of the way here. Or how about I just do it this way? I'll just, yeah, I'll just do it this way so you guys can see this right here. And there it is. Ah, no. Didn't like me pulling it over that far. And there it is again. Ugh, never mind. The first one is Doge, though. Doge USD, limit by 7.25, says that right there. 5,000 Doge for $363. And it's an open limit order here. Now, I do a lot of limit orders. Here's some of my other ones that I have here on this list. That some of them had filled. Here's Optimism. That one filled. Here's Jasmy, that one filled. I still have Fetch.ai, that's still open. And then I had another one here that was going to be some more ribbon, and I canceled that one. But it keeps track of all your limit orders that you have right there. So I have this, so I've got now this Dogecoin limit order here, set at 7.25 cents, and that's it. And then once Dogecoin comes down to that price on the Coinbase exchange, I've bought myself 5,000 Dogecoin at that price. Now, what if Dogecoin maybe drops to 7.3, but then there's a big bull run and it takes off? Then my limit order doesn't fill and I don't get that Dogecoin. So that's a little bit of a risk that you take there. Martin says limit orders also have a minimum and maximum amount you can set. I tried a $3 Doge limit buy and it was denied. Yep, that's funny. Yeah, check the limits on whatever exchange you're using. But this is how Coinbases work. And then if it got to a point where I want to cancel it, like I did the ribbon one before, I can just click on it and cancel it, and that just quickly cancels that limit order. If I decide that I'm looking at this and it's coming down and I like, well, 725 is going to be too much. I think I can get it less. You can cancel that and then set a new one a little lower. So that's how Coinbase works. So I have a link in the description below for Coinbase. If you want to check out Coinbase, you get $10 worth of free Bitcoin if you put at least $100 on your Coinbase account. And check that out. So I have my Coinbase link there. I've got my Binance US link as well. And then we're going to talk about Robinhood. So Robinhood, trading on an app, right? The Robinhood app. A lot of people don't like Robinhood, but a lot of people for Robinhood, that's the first place that they have bought cryptocurrency. And for many people, it was Dogecoin. Dogecoin was the first cryptocurrency you buy. So I go onto Robinhood app and I click on Doge, and I've got Doge there, 7.38 cents on Robinhood, which is the same as it is on Coinbase right now. This says 7.382, and that's exactly where it is on Coinbase as well, 7.382. So if you go and you click on this buy button here, it'll just go right to this window where you just type in a dollar amount. Right, and that's a quick market order at a dollar amount, and you're going to get whatever price they give you. And it's probably not 7.379. It's probably up at 7.4 or more, because Robinhood has a big spread there. But if you're not that worried, because you know Dogecoin is going to go to $1, whether you buy it at 7.3 or 7.4 cents, not a big deal, because Dogecoin is going to go to the moon. However, if you want to do a limit order, you can on Robinhood as well, but it's kind of hidden. You got to come up here into this upper right-hand corner, right where, on mine where it says USD, because I'm in the United States. And, there's a little down arrow. And you click that little down arrow, and you come up with this screen right here. And that screen gives you the choice for conditional orders, and one of them is a limit order. So you click on limit order, and then it just asks you, okay, what price you want? And then you just type in, I want 0.0725, because it tells me now the current price is, market price is 0.0738. So 0.0725, type that in. I say continue. And then it's like, okay, your amount in USD, because I trade in USD, how much amount? I type that in, and then I review it, and then I swipe up, and I got it. And that's the limit order that you can do on Robinhood. And again, this is very similar, to Coinbase, same situation. It's, do I think maybe in the middle of the night there might be a dip and I'm going to miss that dip? Well, you'll catch it. And then you wake up in the morning and you look at your phone, you got the little notification that your order was filled. You're like, cool. So that's kind of how it works for Robinhood. So now on Webull, well, let me go to Robinhood first. I do have a link for Robinhood as well, because I do support Robinhood, and I've got a lot of cryptocurrency and stocks on my Robinhood app. I still have a lot on here, because that's Robinhood, right? I just buy a lot. Now I can transfer off Robinhood too. And I have done some transfers, really cheap to transfer off of Robinhood. Now you can transfer crypto off, but I have a lot of stocks too. I still have my my workhorse stock, which is failing miserably, and my Gevo stock, which is way down, but I've got some Tesla and I've got some IDEX. So I've got stocks on here as well, which is why I trust Robinhood, because they're a stock exchange and crypto, and I don't think they have the same challenges that the crypto only exchanges have. And the same goes for Webull as well. And Webull, very similar. The one thing about Webull is when you go to make a trade, its default is the limit order. You have to actually switch off that and go over to market order if you just want to buy at the current market price. That's how Webull works. So I have links to all these below, and I have crypto on Webull, on Coinbase, Binance US, and Robinhood. Kind of hard to keep track of sometimes by having 4 different exchanges, but that's just partially because I teach a lot, and do a lot on this platform. I also have a crypto.com account. I don't recommend it though, and I don't have any affiliate a thing with crypto.com. I know a lot of people were pushing like their credit cards and those things, and I'm just like, nope. I have some Crow left on there is all, and that's staked, and I'll just leave that there and see what happens long term with Crow on crypto.com. But I don't use that for anything else. But these are the 4 exchanges that I use. So what do you think? CDM says Robinhood is my go-to, straightforward interface. That is true. It really is. It's easy to use. And the one thing about the limit orders, though, is sometimes you'll see on the screen, if you're watching it, it'll show the price you want. Like Dogecoin starts trading down, it might say 7.25 cents on the screen, but your limit order doesn't fill because of the spread between the bid and the ask. And sometimes if your bid is that bid spread is really low, it might have to go down to 724 or even 723 before it fills your order at 725. That's just how Robinhood works. So you have to know that going in. But some people just do their market order, swipe up, done, order filled. Depends on what you're trying to do. But that's it. So that is my my take on limit orders. Again, it's up to you as a trader and an investor of how you're working. If you're doing a lot of trades, you're trying to swing trade, then yeah, you really want to be doing limit orders and get certain prices because you're looking for certain margins and profits. So that's good. Bill, hey, how you doing? Uphold, very easy to use, like Robinhood. Yeah, I've never used Uphold. That's one I've not got into. Have happy with the exchanges that I use here. So, but yeah, if Uphold works for you, that is super. So that's it on limit orders. So let me know in the comments below any questions you have about trading and limit orders and market orders. I will be glad to check on that and answer. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the Kriss Pax channel. I certainly appreciate the support. I'm going to be putting on the charts for the 24/7 live stream. Go back to this Dogecoin chart, and we'll put it back on the 5-minute here, which is what we use on the live stream. So you can see really close the action that's happening, and we will see whether Dogecoin is going to be able to maintain its level here above 7.3 cents. Are we going to see a little mini bull run, or are we just going to be trading sideways for a while? I kind of think with Bitcoin kind of trading sideways too. 22,182. See it dipped down just a little bit below 22,000 here today a couple times with the Jerome Powell statements. Dipped down again. So we'll see whether Bitcoin dips below that, but we'll be watching the Dogecoin on the 24/7 stream. So once I'm done with this stream, I'll reset that back up and you can check that out. Otherwise, again, join me again, 9 o'clock. We'll be here again tomorrow night. So look forward to seeing you then. Until then, have a good evening, and I'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.